All right, guys, welcome to Bow and Arrow Tarot and this Love, Lust, or Loss reading. This is one of my favorite pick a card readings. It's been quite a while since I've done one. So we're going to take a look at these three piles. Take a moment to allow your attention to go to one of the piles that calls you the most. We have pile 1, 2, and 3. Pile number 1 having this beautiful heart. I love this charm. It's a pin, actually. Right? These are all 3 pins. And then the second one, I always have my little key there. See if that speaks to you. Key. And then the third pile with that blue star and the red diamante in the middle. Yeah, just 3 little charms. See which one speaks to you the most. Allow your gaze to go to your pile, and we are going to jump right in with the first pile. All right, we're going to start right with the first pile. We have that little heart pin there, and we are going to start off with, is it love, lust, or loss? Communication. All right, we're going to have to go a little bit deeper. 6 of Swords. And the Hanged Man. I'm feeling a loss here, but we'll see. Who is this person? They are the hyena and the sun. Beautiful. So sun energy here, fiery, could be Leo. And what do we have for the outcome, next steps? Spirit of Gaia, spirit of the flocks, and ostentatious. So that is Saturn in Taurus. All right, Saturn in Taurus energy. All right. Let's jump right into it. Love, lust, or loss. Is this love? Is this lust? Is it loss? We have communication here. Addressing concerns without attacking the person, right? Communication is the issue. Healthy, loving dialogue. We think we're going to have to go a little bit deeper. And then we also have 6 of Swords, Hanged Man. So 6 of Swords is leaving. 6 of Swords is moving away. So I'm going to say this definitely is a case of loss, right? Hanged Man energy is that stubborn energy, not willing to sort of change your outlook, change your position, no matter how crazy it is, how much it may not be suiting you. Sometimes Hangman energy is great because it does suit you and it is bringing you towards a certain epiphany. But in this case, with this 6 of Swords energy, this deep desire to move away from the storm and get to safer shores, I think this is a case of loss for sure. Let's go a little bit deeper. Communication is there because there's concerns here. There are definite concerns here. It may be that communication, again, when you're dealing with a hanged man like that, communication is difficult. When somebody is stubbornly sort of sticking to their guns about a particular situation, communication can be very difficult. Judgment is calling. Wow, and the Queen of Swords, more issues to do with communication, talking. Yeah, this might be a loss here. You may need to have some space here. Judgment can indicate a period where it's time to put up or shut up. Enough is enough. Queen of Swords also, she requires honesty, right? So somebody's coming into this situation for sure, and they're insisting that everybody be honest, right? I feel third-party energy here too, right? In as much as this Queen of Swords feels like someone who's coming in and being, look, like everybody here needs to be honest about what's going on. So let's go to the type of person we're dealing with. Very fiery sun energy. We also have the hyena. Another reason why I think this might be a lost situation, because hyena energy is very insecure energy. This is someone who always makes a joke out of everything. This is the person who's always sarcastic, right? But they're sarcastic. They're not funny. Like nothing about them or their jokes is funny, and yet they laugh at everything. They try to make everything into a joke. They try to cover up their own insecurities with humor. And it just falls flat oftentimes. And in fact, sometimes it's just cruel, right? So sun energy is here. This person may be somebody who's just extremely, extremely fiery. Their sun sign, we're going to go a little bit deeper. We do have Taurus here. Fire energy, hyena is fire, sun is fire. This person is really I want to say they're leaning into that. Definitely Leo, Aries, Sagittarius you might be dealing with. You may be dealing with somebody who has sun in those areas or who is a rising sign in those areas, which denotes very much their character, personality. Um, but yeah, this is a loss. What's the next step? Ostentatious. Yeah. Ostentatious, almost bragging, I want to say, being overly sort of just being too much, being extra, being extra. I think in a way to get back, right? There is a loss here, and then along with that loss, I want to say there is somebody in this connection here who's being really kind of like, they're trying to act like it doesn't bother them. They're trying to act like they're okay. They think it's all funny. Ha ha, it's funny. But really deep down inside, there is some issue because the hyena only ever hides insecurities, right? So let's go to these spirits of darkness and light. Mother Earth, family, creation, gossip, rivals. You see? So the loss again, we go back to communication. Gossip, rivals, a posse. And then we have Mother Earth there. It almost feels like, this person here may be resonating with that mother energy. There's, as I said, there's someone in this scenario that has strong feminine, divine feminine energy that is like the type of person who's like, look, everybody's going to throw their cards on the table. Everybody's going to be honest here about what's been going on. Something seriously has been going on. A lot of fighting, a lot of infighting, a lot of judgment. Spirit of the flux is there because gossip has been affecting this scenario. You see, communication came right out. Yeah, a loss. And a loss here, unfortunately, I'm going to say, due to bad communication, first and foremost, in the sense of not being honest, not having those difficult conversations, but also allowing other people's lies to infect this connection or to infect this situation and believing it. Somebody threw a monkey wrench in your love situation here and was allowed to destroy it utterly. What fell over? Ace of Swords, more swords energy. Some of you are definitely dealing with somebody who has Gemini, Libra, Aquarius in their chart. Any of the 3 air signs. There's a lot of air here. We have an Ace of Swords, 6 of Swords, Queen of Swords, 8 of Pentacles. Wow, labor and work. Must be somebody, I'm going to say somebody you might have even dated on the job, right? You might have had this might have been a flash in the pan. And then, like I said, before you know it, everything got out of hand. Really, really bad communication. One of you have moved away from the other. One of you have refused to sort of listen to reason, hangman energy. And before you know it, this whole thing just feels like it kind of blew up, And that's okay. And as I say, the next steps here is interesting because the gossip and the rivalry. I think the next step for you is realizing what happened here. You're going to be realizing very quickly the bullshit, the ostentatiousness of it all, the fake out of it all. Ostentation, yeah, it's like it's when you put on this great big show and underneath there's really not much there, right? It's overly being showy for no reason. There's no real reason to be this showy. There's no depth there. There's no real quality there. And so the next step in this situation is not only the loss because of the communication, but with that Ace of Swords and 8 of Pentacles, through working, through being consistent for you, through paying attention, you're going to be finding out exactly the nature of why things went sideways here, right? You're going to see things from a very different point of view. And I think it feels here very much that you're going to see how people were able to sabotage a situation here with lies. And before you know it, you suffered a loss with the connection. I don't feel your connection represented here. I just feel the loss. I just feel the loss here. Let's pull some zodiac signs to see what kind of star signs you may have been dealing with specifically. I say fire here because yes, this person is behaving. There's a lot of fiery energy here from them. And the first one I pull out is Leo. Okay, so some of you are dealing with a Libra. There's your air. And some of you were dealing with a Pisces. Strong fire and water energy, fire, air, and water. Leo, Libra, Pisces. Interesting. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. This is your love loss. Love, lust, or loss, pile one. And unfortunately, this one is a loss. Or maybe fortunately, sometimes it's good to let go of things that don't suit you. All right, guys, hang in there and I'll be right back for pile number 2. All right, everyone, let's get right into pile number 2 for the love, lust, or loss series. We're going to start straight out with physical intimacy. I don't know. I guess we're looking at some lust. We have Page of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. Now, who is this person? The Oyster, along with Earth energy. Oh, wow. Okay, and the next steps for you. We have practicality, Spirit of the Skulls, and Spirit of the Anchor. Well, love, lust, or loss. I don't know. I feel like this is a lust situation. Physical intimacy, okay? The topic is up for discussion. Choose healthy, balanced relationships. Doing it for the right reasons. Is there ever a reason not to do it? That's my question. Physical intimacy. So there's lust here. For sure there's lust here. And why do I say that? Also because of these cards. Page of Pentacles and Queen of Wands, right? Page of Pentacles is about physicality. It's about that first urge and physicality, that first step. And the Queen of Wands is, she is unadulterated desire. She desires things and she desires life and enjoying life. And she, I dare say, has a lust for life. So the energies around the situation are definitely energies to do with lust, physicality, wanting to be together. Now, that's not to say that it can't turn into love or that it will only ever be lust or that it will be anything else. But right now, the situation you're dealing with is a situation that is physical. There's a lot of physical enjoyment here. But is that it? I believe it might just be. Why I say this? Because this oyster energy along with that earth energy, you're dealing with somebody with strong earth energy, but they also embody that oyster. And the oyster is very secretive, right? The oyster clings onto things that are important to it. It's the keeper of secrets, oyster energy. It is water energy, right? The oyster is a water energy animal. So you're dealing with somebody who emotionally is kind of closed down. Yeah, they may not be very open and out and ambitious about their desires. Same thing with Page, you have your Page of Pentacles is Earth over here. So I feel like this might only stay in the physical. Let's get some more. Queen of Cups. Oh, and the Lovers. Yeah, well, there you go. More loving, physical. Queen of Cups she's very emotional. Queen of Cups, very, very emotional. Water of water. Queens of water, cups of water. She's water of water. She's closest to the High Priestess in her ability to sort of empathize. She has a lot of emotional intelligence. She feels things, right? And she trusts her feelings, right? And then we have that Lover's card, which I actually have to hide because YouTube has an issue with nudity, so I gotta figure out a way. Let me see. I'll slide it right under there like that. I gotta make sure I keep their bodies covered up. But Queen of Cups energy and the Lovers, along with that physical intimacy, you're dealing with you two are very physically compatible. Let me tell you that. At the very, that's for sure. All right, the desire is there, but that's as deep as you might be able to get with this person. It just is. It just is. Let me pull one more card for that oyster. Queen of Wands. Also, I do have a feeling also like this person, you may be dealing with somebody who's been around the block quite a few times, right? And they know exactly what they're doing. Queen of Wands is also player energy. Five of Cups. Yeah, you might have your heart broke if you feel like it's going to be anything more than lust. Or they may have their heart broke. If they feel like it's anything more than lust, it may be you who wants to just keep it in the physical. And that's okay. You know, there's no judgment at all about that. We should absolutely be able to have physical connections, physical intimacy, lust, sex, whatever, with whomever you want, as long as it's consensual. And there shouldn't be any expectation of anything more unless either of you desire that and you agree on that, right? And so, but somebody here is about to get their feelings hurt. Five of Cups, for sure, because it is physical and it is staying just there. What's the next step? Practicality. You're going to have to be practical. You know, moon and Capricorn energy, more earth energy. So this is a situation of practicality. Some of you may even, this might even be a side piece. I'm going to be honest with you. This may be a side piece of, you know, a piece of side, you know, a piece on the side. This, you know, because you're being practical about this situation. Spirit of the anchor, and you know, makes me feel as though, yeah, the practicality of it all is that you got a real thing going on somewhere else. Right? There's something that's anchoring one of the people in this connection, whether it be you or the other person, that is anchoring them somewhere else where the stability actually is, right? Where the, I want to say, ultimate loyalty, commitment, right, is. That's there. And in this situation, that's not there. This situation is just physical, you know? It's just some lust here, some physical feelings here. But somebody's about to get their feelings hurt because of this anchor that is there on the side. There may be, Oyster being the keeper of secrets, listen, you might be dealing with somebody who has a whole family on the side. Sound off in the comments if you're dealing with this, because I always find these situations to be quite interesting, in as much as I don't think it's interesting that anybody gets hurt. But what I do find interesting is these people who are able to literally have whole families on the side, you know, whole spouses and children on the side or somewhere else, and really live these double lives. And I'm feeling this energy here too, because with that oyster, that hidden secret there, something is going on with somebody in this connection that is prohibiting them, you know, blocking them from ever being able to get that close with you. Yet the love, so-called, may be there. The sweet nothings are there. The lover's energy is there, but on a very, very shallow level. Spirit of the skulls. Yes, there's a melancholy that sets in once this is revealed. Because again, somebody in this situation is about to have their heart broke. Five of Cups, or they've already had their heart broken. You might be already dealing with this situation, in whatever position you're in this situation. You might already be dealing with looking back and being like, was this really just lust? Yeah, it was. If you're resonating with this reading, yes, it was. You know, please sound off if you're going through this. Should I pull another card? I think I'll pull one more. Spirit of the cat. There you go. Okay. If you're dealing with somebody who's been coming in and out of your life like a cat, they're curious, but then they leave and split. This, yeah, it's been inconsistency here, definitely, and just a feeling of, oh my gosh, I really thought sometimes when the intimacy is so heavy, when, you know, when the energy feels so good between two people physically, they mistake that for love. And they really are not one and the same. And then sometimes people mistake love for commitment. They're also not the same. You can love somebody and be unwilling to commit to them and still truly be in love with them, right? You can have such good sex with somebody that it feels like love, but it was really just sex. So this is, you know, take a moment to meditate if you're going through this, because this is a situation where it was just lust and it was a come and go and I'll see you later lust as well, because somebody in this connection is more anchored, committed, and invested somewhere else outside of this connection. All right, guys, let me pull out some zodiac signs, see what kind of zodiacs you might be dealing with. Some of you are dealing with an Aquarius. Some of you are dealing with a Gemini. And some of you, third one out, Some of you are dealing with a Scorpio. Shocker. Some of you are dealing with Scorpio or Scorpio energy. I'm not even surprised, honestly. But I'm going to leave it right there, guys. Thank you so, so much for joining me. And I will be right back with pile number 3. All right, and welcome to pile number 3. We're going to jump right into it. Is it love, lust, or loss? Ooh, the guarded heart. Okay. Along with the Queen of Swords and an Ace of Swords, new beginning. All right. Who is this person? The starfish and their energy, water. And what comes next? We have resourcefulness and spirit of the wind and spirit of the child. All right. The guarded heart. Interesting. This might be love, guys. This might indeed be love. The guarded heart. Lingering trust issues, fear from the past, right? Hurts, love can't get through that wall, forgiveness and letting go. Yeah, this might be a case of love, but scary love, right? Scared of love, love coming in, some kind of connection here that's strong, right? And it's scary, right? You might be guarded, your person may be guarded. Queen of Swords, Ace of Swords, a lot of air energy here. Might be dealing with any air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Queen of Swords is really like, she desires to be her most authentic self, right? She desires to be honest. She yearns for clarity, no matter how difficult it may be, no matter how much it may hurt her, right? She's just brave. She's been through a lot. You know, she will have been the one who's really had her pride, tested over and over, her dignity snatched, or people have tried to take her dignity. Very difficult issues that she's had to deal with. But she has overcome them. And the strength that the Queen of Swords shows is really one of the highest in the deck. Ace of Swords energy, opening up your mind to a whole new outlook. I do feel like this is love, y'all. It's really funny because all 3 readings were different. I had a lust, I had a loss, and now I think this one is definitely love because love requires authenticity. Love yearns for authenticity, and that's what you have here, especially this new opening, this Ace of Swords, this desire here to open up your mind, and yet the worry with the guarded heart. So another ace. Wow. And then that 6 of Cups, nice love, historical love, a memory of love. Some of you, excuse me for my voice, a lot of reading. Some of you, 6 of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, this is a brand new start with someone from your past, someone you have history with, or someone that you've met where you feel as though you've known them your whole lives. 6 of Cups is a deep sort of affectionate love, right? It's a deep, deep affection. It's a deep harmony. It's a harmony between 2 people that has come out of a long period of exchanging and interacting with each other and trusting each other. 6 of Cups is that pure kind of trust, the kind of trust that a child has for its childhood friend, And Ace of Pentacles, again, a new beginning. A new beginning, Ace of Swords, a new outlook, but the heart is guarded. You may indeed just, there may be love here that has, that's on such a scale that you're just so careful. You just, as it says, you just don't want to be hurt. Some of you, who is this person? Starfish energy, water energy, they're gorgeous. This is somebody who's extremely attractive, just physically very, very attractive. They're very alluring. Starfish, you want to take care. Sometimes you're dealing with somebody who kind of leans into that a little bit more than they should, but that's usually also out of insecurity. So this person not only is gorgeous, beautiful on the outside, but they may indeed be afraid to show the inside for fear of rejection. Right? Water energy is there. Some of you definitely dealing with someone who has strong water energy. Could be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. They may have that in their chart somewhere, sun, moon, rising, right? It may be placed somewhere that's really strong for them natally as far as their natal chart or as far as any of the transits that we're going through right now. So water energy, strong. Starfish is water energy. What's the next step? Well, resourcefulness is coming in. So, yeah, there's a desire, more water energy. This is Sun in Cancer. So it feels like, resourcefulness, a feeling of like a real practical sort of activity, need, right? That needs to be filled, task that needs to be accomplished. And so you have to be very resourceful. And so there's a real kind of grounded practicality to how this relationship, connection, what have you, will be moving forward, right? Spirit of the wind, spirit of the child. Spirit of the wind indicates a lot of activity. Spirit of the child, innocent, immature adventures. Again, it feels to me like as a result of some of the disruption that comes into your lives, the resourcefulness that you're going to have to show to survive this disruption, there's a real practical way in which the two of you in this connection have to continue to interact with each other. You may have to help each other rebuild a house, after it burned down, I mean, like so many natural disasters, unfortunately, are happening. I see some kind of like difficult physical difficulty that either of you have had to go through. And because of practical reasons of survival and resourcefulness. And as a result of this disruption, you two are being kind of thrown together. But there is spirit of the child. There's this adventure and childlike immature energy here, right? So there's the wonder, there's the desire, there's the sort of fun. Six of Cups. Again, some of you have been long-term friends, right? And so what's going on here is very, very new. It's a new vibe, it's a new stage, it's a new kind of interaction, but it's with somebody you trust and you've known for a long time. And so, yeah, you're comfortable, but you're also kind of uncomfortable, right? It's also kind of like, oh, I'm not sure. But sometimes those are the greatest way love begins. Let me pull a couple more cards for this one. Definitely love, but love like a newfound love with someone you know already for sure. Page of Swords and an Eight of Wands. So much changes so fast here, right? So much is changing up so fast for you. Authority. Yeah. So, the authority. Mars in Capricorn, resourcefulness. Yeah, I feel like honestly some of you are having to deal with outside influences, outside institutions that are, the face of authority, that are putting you in a particular situation. And it's so new for you. You and your person, you and the person in this connection. This is absolutely a connection of love, but this love is bringing you two together to sort of fight as a unit against the world. The Page of Swords indicates a kind of confidence that's beginning to come in, just beginning to come in for one or both of you. Remember, the starfish is an unconfident individual. The starfish is someone who they are afraid to rely on something deeper. They know that their beauty and their outward looks and their charisma gets them pretty far, but not relying on that is a scary prospect for them. They're only beginning now to get their confidence with that Page of Swords, to see from a little bit more of a clear point of view, to see things in general a bit clearer. This is a real learning phase again. Very fast. Everything's happening very, very fast. Someone is definitely guarded, but there's a deep, undying love here. A love that has been here for quite some time. Six of Cups. Very long time. Even if you two don't know each other, if you know what I mean, right? It's almost like this love is there. You ever felt like you were in love with this one person, but you haven't met them yet, but you know you're in love with them? It's a very faint kind of feeling. It's like being in love and having been held away, and just waiting to meet that person that you had this love for this whole time, right? But what else can I say, guys? This is your pile 3. This is about love, and this is about love in the most unconventional, unexpected circumstances. Life has thrown the two of you together either again or for the first time, but there's this sense of knowing each other a long time here. Everything is happening fast, very fast, but together this is just the beginning of, I believe, what will be a very enduring and long lasting love connection with someone. All right, guys, this was your third pile. Sign off in the comments if you're going through this, if this is your experience. I love these kind of love stories. It's very much like, you and me against the world. I never knew I could love you, but it's, I love these kind of situations. So please sound off in the comments. But for right now, guys, I just want to thank you for coming to this pick a card reading, love, lust, or loss. And I hope to see you guys right back here at Bow and Arrow Tarot for your next pick a card. Bye bye now.